How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Cut from 2001. This is directed by Kimble Rendall and stars Molly Ringwald, Jessica Napier, and Kyle Montague. And this movie I didn't know much about going in. I knew it was a self-aware slasher, but I didn't know much beyond that. But hey, I had it in this double pack. I already watched the St. Francisville Experiment. Why not check out the other one? And I was a little confused because this is a self-aware slasher comedy and St. Francisville Experiment is a found footage movie. What do these two have in common? Why would you put them on the same multi-pack? And the answer is they're both knockoff movies. St. Francisville really wanted to be the Blair Witch Project. Now Cut really wanted to be Scream. And both of these movies obviously don't come anywhere near the original and both aren't that great. And the thing with this movie, the thing with Cut, is nothing ever really plays out into anything. The plot of Cut doesn't really have much going on, and the characters never really have any good character beats, driving forces or gags or anything. All the characters are just kind of meh, so it's hard to really care about. And if you do get invested, don't worry, the last act of this movie abruptly shifts to something totally different than what we were doing before. So it's not very well written. The humor is not good, and the self-aware, self-referential movie stuff never really pans out. Every now and then they try to say something about horror movie making, but it's nothing revolutionary. Hey, don't you think horror movies are kind of cathartic? That's all we got. Okay. So I would say that this is nothing more than a B-grade horror movie. Put it on a lazy Saturday afternoon, turn your brain off, just watch it, whatever. And that's what most of the movie is. But the problem is, it does stuff that really bugs me. And it's not like the same thing. You never really know how this movie is gonna upset you, but every 3 to 5 minutes it feels like something happens and you're just like, why did they do that? And it's all these little things, and it's things that someone should have caught. And that, to be fair, is like most of filmmaking, is just looking at what you're doing and saying, that doesn't work, why does it not work, and how can I fix it? But yeah, no, this movie, it's just every so often, and quite often in this movie, something would happen that would bug me. So yeah, I can't really recommend this in any fashion, because outside of the things that bugged me, it was just a B-grade ineffective horror movie that wasn't scary and wasn't funny, and then you get all these little things that don't work and trip it up. It's really not great. But I guess I should elaborate on that. I'm gonna talk a bit about the plot. I'm not gonna do any major spoilers, I won't ruin the ending, but I do want to say my piece on a few plot points and highlight some of these things that again really did get to me. And let's start off with the opening, and boy, there are going to be quite a few. First of all, this is a self-aware slasher movie that takes place on a movie set. Without me telling you, how does the movie open? It opens with a scene from the movie that you don't know is part of the movie until someone says cut and the camera spins around and there's a whole crew there. Oh my gosh, I am getting so sick of this trope. Wasn't it Scream 4, I think, that did this 7 or 8 times? Yeah. There's a reason Wes Craven was poking fun at it. But in the movie within the movie, if we want the second thing that bugs me, the mother walks out and just says dinner's on the stove and leaves the burner on, and the kids do not do anything. The kids just leave that pot boiling and they would have burned the house down if the slasher didn't get to them. But whatever. When we pan out and reveal that it's a movie, we get the director being the most annoying person ever. And I get we have to establish her character really quick because she's only in the prologue, but she is just the worst. And she's yelling at the slasher because he was supposed to cut the victim's blouse open before slashing her throat. But if you're paying attention to the movie they're shooting, they were shooting a close-up gore insert shot where you wouldn't see the blouse anyway. What are we up to? 5? 4? Well, after that, the slasher actor is going to snap, and he corners the director, and again, for no flippin' reason, cuts off his own pinky. What are they doing? Why? And then, of course, the final girl actress is going to step in, see the commotion, and kill the slasher. But when we kill the slasher, cartoon electricity shoots out of him. Stupid. Stupid, stupid. And that's like, what, 6, 7 things that bugged me right there in the prologue? Yeah, this movie's not great. Well, we zoom out of that because, of course, we started with a movie that was being made and then was pulled out into the past, and then the past is pulled out into the story that a professor is saying. So we're going out one more level, and the professor says, and that's why we don't make horror movies. Okay, whatever. The professor, it turns out, was someone who worked on the original film. I'm not entirely sure what his job was. The movie kind of glosses past that really quick. And the students say, hey, let's finish the movie for our final project. The professor says no, and they decide to do it anyway, because why not step on your professor's trauma, am I right? And the professor warns them, hey, every time someone's tried to complete this movie, someone has died. And I will say, when we get these flashbacks to the past people dying, someone is found dead in a movie theater by a projectionist, and the projectionist does not react or emote at all. Gosh, you see what I mean? This movie just kind of chugs along predictably, but every so often and so quick, something stupid happens. Well, whatever, they're obviously going to make the movie, you know, doing the thing for your final project that your professor explicitly told you not to do is a great way to pass a course. So they get funding. It turns out the widow of a producer is thinking that she can make some money out of this, so she funds the movie, and there's an actress who was in the original version of the film that they get to come back, and they say she wasn't really successful, she hadn't been in anything, so I think we can get her in our movie. Of course, cut to her living a lavish life in Hollywood, and then she becomes that like ditzy actress stereotype. I don't know why she would be so rich and successful if her career never took off, but again, nothing in this movie stands up to any sort of scrutiny, whatever. But from there we get the standard hijinks. As I said earlier, the kills aren't that great. They have an idea, but they never save any budget to actually execute it right. So in turn, when we're supposed to see someone dying, get ready for choppy editing, and a lot of the cool stuff will be off camera. No Tom Savini gore effects in this one, I'm sorry. And again, no one has any real character. There's this big long shot where one of the guys is talking about who likes who and all these couples. I don't know any of their names, and most of this won't come up later. So again, we're wasting time and nothing adds up to anything. There's this bit because the main character, I guess, is the new director, and the new director, for her character, we get to see her put something in a case twice. Yeah, that's weird. Like, it's shot too quickly so you can't actually see what she's putting in the case. But if you actually pause the movie and see what it is, and know what that thing is, you can basically infer her entire backstory. But guess what? It's only addressed in one scene, so again, it doesn't really matter. Of course, there's a gag where people suspect the new guy who's playing the slasher might be the slasher, and the slasher, let me tell you, does not look great. He looks like that NPC guy meme, but with a stitched up mouth. Not super interesting at all, but if you guys are invested in the mystery, for real, don't. It doesn't add up to anything, which makes you wonder why even have a mystery in here. And when it's revealed who the killer is, it becomes a different movie. Like the white mask and the blue suit, the killer's kind of a Michael Myers knockoff, but he becomes a totally different character, but also a knockoff of a different horror franchise icon that is super noticeable and super distracting. Yeah, overall, this movie was just a B horror movie that didn't amount to much, but so often in this film, it would just bug me and something would happen that would keep me from enjoying it even on some base level. So yeah, I can't really recommend Cut. It's just a horror movie B-side, or at least that's what it would be if there weren't all the things in it that kept bugging me. So yeah, can't really recommend this one. Not a great slasher movie. Yeah, just watch Scream 3 instead. But whatever. Anyway though, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my slasher movies playlist. If you want to see me talk about other slasher movies, you can click right here and see more. And that will of course include Scream in there as well. Anyway, have a good day. See you guys again very, very soon. Playlist here. Have a good day now.